Live, live. All right, I'm not too late, right? 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Got the printing for super cheap hoodie on today. Hopefully, I'm coming in okay. Microphone's on, so I should be. Should be all right. It's a great day to be live here. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me, because the worst is when I'm talking and you can't hear me. Everything looks good on my end. Barbara Doleshaw. I think I'm saying it right. Doleshaw. Fresh off a 9x12 is here. Mitch Devo, the 9x12 method man with the love. Kais is here. Erica McClellan is here. You are forgiven. Thank you. Okay. I am heard. All right. Woo! The giveaway thing wasn't working, so I had to troubleshoot that at the last second. Had to fix some typos on the 9x12 shout-outs. Shout out to Zoe got resolved right at the last second. I said it perfectly. Nice. Julie Gold is here. Joshua Polche is here. It gave everyone some time to warm up here, to prepare themselves. Happy Thursday, everyone. Michael Kerr, first time I've caught a live in a while. I was going to ask, and you can feel free to mention it in here, but I'll send out an official, like a survey or something. I don't know if I should be doing these at night, because a lot of people can only see them at night, evening Eastern time. So I don't know. I don't know if I should bounce back and forth between them. I don't know. I'm open to anything. Taylor Murphy is here. You didn't tell me if you like the suede cards. Yeah, I was here. I was just trying to get this all going. Mark Gershon says, "Hey everyone, I hope everyone is crushing it and had a great week." I think everyone had a great week. Ton of new 9x12ers, lots of different. Taylor says, glad that she got the email reminder. Today, I was actually able to send an email out. I have a new employee. I have a new in-office secretary to Lena's old job. Her name is Andrea. She's on lunch right now, but she will be coming back in. I don't think she really knows that I do YouTube or anything. I don't think that really grasps. I don't think she really grasped that yet, but she's great. She's fantastic. She's been doing really great. She has a lot of experience on the secretarial end of it, so it's pretty cool. She'll see your guys' comments in a little bit. Bruce Rogat is here from the 9th Island in Las Vegas. It's Toger. I can never say your name. If you're in Florida, it's already in the upper 80s. Wow. Yeah, HVAC is the prime season right now. If you're working with HVAC clients or want to help them, or you're an HVAC client, this is just, you're coming up on the prime time to get those those air conditioners are going to be breaking down, and people are going to want tune-ups and check-ups. Fantastic time. There's nothing better than the timing. We're going to talk about response rates today, and the timing plays such a huge part of response, like just timing. You send something you send a postcard right as the all these spring projects are, the weather is breaking, like you're going to get a lot more response than if you're sending them at a poor time. Now, you can still mail all the time for almost every service. You can figure out a way to mail in almost any time. You just have to be more creative. But if you want really great response, timing can just play a huge part of that. What do we have here for the... Look, everyone's in... Jeremy Roots here in San Diego. Everyone is... Can I click these? I thought I could. There was some way I thought you could show the people. Wow, we got no international today. Everyone's out. Look at the people over here. No one's over here in this middle part. The part of the U.S. that everyone forgets about. Oh, someone's in Mexico. There's a ton of people here. Arkansas and stuff. Wow. I think you guys can see that on the screen. I'm just showing where everyone is located by what they wrote in the chat. We're going to do a bunch of shout-outs. We're going to do some contests. I have to bring up my screen again. I can't see it. I still haven't mastered that, how to actually see myself. There we go. Denlin Blake is thanking me for sending out an email reminder. I am happy to. Michael Cuss is working on his first card right now. Great. Joseph Proctor is here. Great to see you, Joe. Waylon Tribute, tell Jane, thanks for getting my cards handled. She might be live on here right now. She should be. Hopefully she is. American Mailbox Mailers, first time live watcher. That's incredible. I try to stay up on top of these comments best I can. Rich Tyner's here. Great to see you. Paul, the hangry neighbor postcard is here. That's amazing. Sound is good, Ray Galarza said, who just put out a bunch of stuff. You just had us print a ton of stuff. You've been crushing it. Andy and Andreas, I think he goes by Andy, says you're good. The name is correct. Yeah, I'm pretty good with pronunciations. Pretty good. Put that live on there, Andrea. She just come in. Wine Shop TV is here. My man Chris Campbell, all the way in Wisconsin. Let me know when you got it on there. Sometimes Sarah comments, and I always feel bad if I miss her comment, so you can keep a second eye on there. Louisiana. Someone's from Louisiana in here. We have a Louisiana that just did a 9x12 card. Ray says he just signed up a tree cutting company on a second. Oh, they do great, man. Direct mail works so well for tree removal. Works so good. Bree Novak. My business and recipients love my card. The business owners are impressed. Isn't that great to hear? I love hearing that. You did such a good job on that. Michael said I got his name right. I'm good with those pronunciations. Salvador Torres says, working on my first postcard. Spoke to the city's Department for Small Business, and they're going to feature me on the city's websites and socials. Wow, that's incredible. I never heard of that before. That's amazing. I would have never thought about that. Some cities have really great social media presence, and it sounds like you hit the jackpot with that. That is fantastic. I hope that makes the live worth it right there. Learning that little tidbit. That is amazing. I'm going to leave that up just for a second so people can really get that. That is awesome. What Jane said, Rainer Fisher's really difficult fit. Oh, Rainer got his samples. I had to pay $75. I had to pay $75 to send a sample pack to Canada. $75. I hope he got them. It's Canada shipping is crazy. Oh, Travis is in Georgia. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, Florida. MP Creative says a lot of people in Florida. There is often a lot of people in Florida. It seems like it's a really populated state. Let's pull that up again. Let's see if I can pull. Is that working? Yeah. What we got here? Why is it keep pulling up Jeremy Route? See, this is where everyone is, Andre. You see, well, you'll see it on the screen in a second. There's Georgia, right there. Atlanta. I want to go to Atlanta. All over. It must be Rainer Fisher up there in Canada. I saw someone up there. Why does it keep showing Jeremy Root? It keeps showing it. I don't know why. Let's do some shout outs. And then we'll do some contests. Then we'll talk about response. I think you can see me. Yeah. We got Tyler Green. I don't know if he's live, but he's on his third card right now. I'm pretty sure it's the third one. Great job, Tyler Green over there in Texas. Keep an eye out, Andrea, for Sarah's comment. If she comments, let me know, because I always feel bad if I miss it. It's hard to get them all. And then she'll yell at me later. We got Brandon. Oh, it's Brandon. It's not Braden. It's Brandon. I tried to do a spell check real quick. Crap. Sorry about that. He said I don't take pictures. He said the only picture I have is this pictured gym picture. So he wasn't like, oh my God, let me show you these big muscles. He said that was the only picture he had. So that works for me. You can get your postcard and your fitness tips. Great job, Brandon. Sorry about the misspelling on the name. I really apologize. We're going to fix that. I looked at it like 3 times too, but it was right down to the wire. Kevin Dyke, great job on enough. I think it's his 8th card. I don't know. It's somewhere around there. He's always got stuff going on. He's got lots of stuff going on. His video, if you haven't seen it, and his product is amazing on how to make money as a stay-at-home dad. He's a stay-at-home dad, and he's got all sorts of things going on. He's on his 8th card. Great job. He does the flyers too, which is outstanding. We've got Tiffany in Laplace. I think I'm saying it right. Laplace, Louisiana. Great looking card. I love that color. Look at that with the pink and the yellow. That looks great. And the green. You see that, Andrea? It didn't show up on your screen yet. It looks really good. Right there. Doesn't that look cool? I love that. It's so bright. David Moore in Tip City. I've never heard of that place before. That was a new one for me. Tip City, Ohio. Great job, guys. I'm blocking out your picture there. Great job. Fantastic. Got the dog in there. Nice job, David and significant other. Ron Douglas in Colorado. Great job, Ron Douglas, with your 10,000 piece card. Fresh off that 10K. Look at how the movie one stands right up, right out. Got the double space and that big, bold $5 Tuesday, any movie, anytime. Very cool. Myra, I'm pretty sure it's Myra. She told me you got to say my name right. I'm pretty sure it's Myra. I really hope I'm not butchering that. I really hope I'm not messing that up. I'm pretty sure it's Myra. Great job in Sacramento, California. Outstanding job with that shared card. And we got Andy and Barbara Dolashal here in Punta Gorda, Florida, who are live in the chat right now. Nice job on your cards. Fantastic job. We got Amy in Vacaville. I've got a podcast with her and Randolph here. If Randolph is live too. Oh, why didn't we put Randolph's on? He's got another card. Man, I feel bad. I did a podcast with him and Amy, and I still have not published them, and I feel terrible. And he just did another one. I don't know why we didn't get him. Zoe, if you're watching this, we got to remember that. We have to remember to get Randolph on here. He's on his like third or fourth card in Jacksonville, Florida. But great job, Amy, on your third card there. Got the family in Vacaville. You guys were telling me it was Vacaville, but she said no, it's Vacaville. Don't let them fool you. It's Vacaville. Laura Kraka, I think I'm saying it right, Kraka, in Chicago, with her nice little neighborhood card here, nice little community card, looking great. Nice job. Tallis in Florida, another Floridian. A beautiful family. Got that newborn baby. Yeah, he's just had a baby. That's amazing. With a directory card. Look at that. That stands right out. See, that's something you'd want to keep. You get in the mail, you want to keep it. It looks amazing. This is all this week's ones that at least gave us permission. There were a whole bunch that hadn't gotten back to us or sent us a picture yet. But these are the ones that did. Andrew Santiano in Pittsburgh. Love that picture. Look at that. Amazing. That's Scott Meisner's territory. I just noticed that. Berkshire Neighbors in Massachusetts. I want to say it's the second card too. Yeah, that's the second card. It's not. That's their second. Great job. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. I'm losing it. Corey Anderson on a third card, I believe. Third card. I think that's what it is. Yeah, third card. Nice job, guys. In Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going all over the states here. And that's it. That's all the shout outs for this week. Great job, everyone. Fantastic job. All of you guys. Every single one of you. What'd I miss? Derek Duncan is here. Great to see you, Derek. Tejas. Tyler Green says Tejas. Some people do pronounce it that way, don't they? Maybe that's the correct pronunciation. Silver is here. Okay, what's Erica saying? I've gotten 2 calls so far that wants to advertise my business directly for next year, trying to convert them to a monthly postcard. Awesome. Just got that thing out. Hey, Ed Jr. Online is here. Great to see you. And Stand Up Talent, just send me a $5 super chat. There's a super chatter. Super fan. Tips. Tips for headlight cleaning service, $99.99. We got 3,000 postcards from you. We'll be mailing in 3 weeks. Send that thing out and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if you advertise $1 or not on that. I think that that's a great price. So to me, I feel like that is probably something you want to advertise. And I'm guessing you get there and you upsell different work or something. Who knows? But I think that sounds like a good price to clean the headlights. Get rid of them foggy headlights and get nice new headlights. I would think that the keys would be good before and after pictures, good visuals, and I think that's a good price. Maybe put like a $149 originally, now just $99. I think that's definitely worth mailing. The 3,000 postcards is a kind of small quantity, but it's enough to mail. It's good enough to mail and see what happens for sure. When people start mailing like 1,000, I get nervous because it's like a coin flip. Like you don't know what's going to happen when you send out 1,000. But 3,000, you can definitely get a guideline, some metrics from that. Oh, Jared's in Indiana. We'll look at the map up there in a little bit. AB says, do the tariffs have any effect of the 9x12 in the USA? I don't see any effect that you'll run into on the tariffs, fortunately. But who knows? I don't know. Some of that is unpredictable. I don't know. I don't foresee anything on our end. Nothing is coming over from China, so I don't foresee an issue. But over time, I guess we'll see. I don't know. What is it, 10%, I believe? I think it's just announced that it's 10%. Stock market going crazy. It's a great time to buy right now. I'm scooping up a ton of VOO because it just went under 500. It's going to go up at some point. So to me, I just keep buying it because it's cheap. Atlanta is beautiful, Kenitra says. I know it's a big place. The only thing that bothers me is the traffic. I hear the traffic is just ridiculous, but I don't know. I just feel like it's a great place to visit. Let's look at this map before we do some contests. Now let's talk about response. What's this map looking like right now? It's got Jeremy on there again. Why does it keep doing that? Oh, someone's over there in Norway. Who the heck is in Norway? In Oslo. Wow. Africa? Someone's in the Congo? Who the heck is in the Congo? Who's in Kinshasa? Congo. Congo's a beautiful place. I read a whole thing. It took me days to read this journal thing of these two people who went through Congo. I don't think you can now, but they took like a car that could make it, and the whole visit of going through the Congo was incredible. And Anthony Bourdain, if you've seen that video, that what Parts Unknown or whatever was fantastic. They had that library that was upkept in there. Congo is like such a resource rich company. Someone's in Dakching, China. Someone's over there in Australia. I want to know who the heck is in the Congo. Someone's in Argentina. Jeez. Someone's in this place. Oh, that's China. All over. There, Talis says it wasn't showing it, but it is now. Kodak, Tennessee, never heard of that. Miami, my man Will Bradwell. Will is the Andrea. When we do the EDDM things, and now instead of filling them by hand, we could just punch it into that thing. He's the creator of that. He made that software specifically with that to auto-generate all those slips. Yeah, it's incredible. Rapid slips. So big shout out. Dion Daniels is here. Great to see you. William Schweitzer. It's probably Schweitzer, but we say Schweitzer probably. I have a landscape construction company and a kitchen and bathroom model company. Should I do a flyer with both? I would. Just for I would. I definitely would, especially right now, because you got to get this thing out. I do it. I do both. I would. I would. I'd do them both. People right now want that stuff done. This is when they're looking to do it. I would just get this out. 100%. Save money. Definitely worth doing. But you're running out. I mean, you're not running out of time, but you want to get this out fast right now just because of the time of the year. Live Free or Dice has been sending emails, getting a 40% open rate, but no replies. Emails is a different animal. You can't. My best advice for email is to keep these things very short, very, very short. You need to get them on the hook so that they will reply to you for more information. If you send anything that's got a wall of text, if you send anything that looks like it's going to take some time to read, you got to stop that. That's probably where you're at. Heather Walkman, thank you for all you do to support and encourage all of us. Well, I'm very happy to. Thank you. It means a lot. Bree Novak says that she teamed up with the real estate agent from her card. He has a Facebook group and just launched a directory website. That's fantastic. Now you've got him working for you and you're helping him. That's great. Travis says these are some nice cards. I know, it's great to see the variation and everything. Dion said congratulations to Myra. Cabanas Dunhill is here. It wasn't loading up on his phone. I don't know. I'm glad that it loaded up now. Stoke Mustang says, shoot, I'm in Sacramento. It's okay. It's a big place. It's all right. Florida Wellsip says Jake treats me like a stepchild. Oh my God. I just haven't, because he's like, I thought I didn't make the cut on the, I recorded his that's Randolph's. This is third card. And we didn't make a shout out. We're trying. That's Zoe's task, is to help me keep these shout outs going, and it slipped through both of us. And this poor guy's got 3 cards. And I recorded a podcast interview with him and Amy, and I just haven't had a moment to edit it. It's been like 2 months now, because I haven't had a second to get these things out. That's why I haven't been scheduling more podcast interviews, because I can't even get these 2 out. Yeah. Definitely not a redheaded stepchild, but it feels that way. I feel so bad. Here's another Myra. And he's doing great things in Jacksonville. He's got a great thing going on down there. And it's a great interview. But it's held up on me. JB Family says, trying to get started. I went for my first sales pitch and got to know I'll think about it. They took down my number. There's so much you could do differently, and that's okay. You're going to run into those things. But I don't want to get into that right now, but you just keep trucking. Trust me. You could probably have closed that, probably, almost positively, but we got to save that for another topic. If you're in the elite group, ask that question in the elite group. You'll get a ton of help, a ton. I put a bunch of sticky notes on my screen and they're all falling out, so I can remember what to say, but it's all right. No Sarah yet? She hasn't said nothing? What a jerk. Lars Mullen says, hit that like button. I hope you guys do. Nah, that's a different one, yeah. Larry's here. Wayland Tribute Show says, Jake, can you do a 10-foot by 8-foot banner? I can do any banner size imaginable. If you want a banner that's 100 feet by 100 feet, we could definitely do it. Because we can go 128 feet long. And it doesn't matter with height or width, because we can just keep welding more banners together. So it can be any size you can imagine. The only thing that would make it a challenge, but not really, would be after being rolled up, if it is so long that it has to go FedEx freight. I'm trying to think. There's a limit to how much we can send. It's like 6 feet maybe, and that gets a little bit pricier. But once it goes over like 5 or 6 feet, it's got to go freight, and that's where you're talking a couple $100 just to send something in freight. But when you're making a banner that ginormously long, then absorbing that cost will be fine. But 10-foot by 8-foot banner, no problem. No problem at all. I don't think, 8 foot, I guess that brings up, because you've got 8 foot on the longest because you could go 10 long and 8 high. I don't think it would be freight. I'd have to check with our shipping, but I think it's just a kind of a extra charge, but not freight charge for that size. But no problem doing the banner. Not at all. Motivated Family says, I paid for the sample 9x12s. We sent them all. Oh, should be getting them today. So you got them and you're going to be out prospecting. That's amazing. Alan is here from Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte? Downtown Detroit is booming with new businesses, Scott says. EDDM. I've heard Detroit is getting a lot better. It's not the what it was. It's on the upswing. EDDM good in high-rise apartments. Depends what you're mailing out for. Are you doing a 9x12 with different businesses, or are you doing a specific thing? The only business, but the only thing to keep in mind is the postal carriers they're just gonna put a bunch in the lobby. They're not going to actually deliver them to every single house or every single mailbox unless you do a targeted mailing. So keep that in mind. Joshua Polche says, it's like urgent?
Yeah.
All right. But hang on one second. No. Okay. All right. Josh, sorry about that. Real life problems here. Business. Starting, Joshua Polche says, starting to find more and more graphic designers who are designing 9x12 on Fiverr. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Here's what happens. I'll tell you what happens because I've seen this for 15 years. This is exactly what happens when it comes to Fiverr designers on 9x12. You will find some for cheap, really cheap. They might be $10, $15 an ad, something in that range. You might find something that's $5. I don't know. And you can probably get some ads done on that. But within 1 or 2 cards, that designer will then shoot up the price for 2 reasons. One, they're going to get a lot of work probably, and now they're not going to need to charge so little. They're going to raise their prices because they have a lot of customers. And 2, they're going to realize how long these actually take with revisions and just the time over the course of a card. Doing 15 ads, 16 ads takes probably more time than they thought, and they will naturally just raise prices to a level of probably $20 to $30 per ad. That's what happens. So I'm just giving anyone a forewarning. You may find a very cheap designer, but they won't last very long at that price. That's why I can't recommend, hey, here's an inexpensive person here. Here's an expensive, because by the time 2 months have passed, a month has passed, someone goes to contact that person, and now the price is 4 times what it was originally. No one does 9x12 ads for very low prices for very long. So maybe you'll catch one at the moment, but you're going to be in this probably $20 to $30 per ad range. Just a heads up. Mario says, I'm halfway on 9x12 and on week 5 full-time job. Hey, as long as you can keep this your advertisers at bay and understanding that it's just taking you a little bit of time, which is usually just being transparent about it. You're fine. Just get this thing done. Get this thing done. Sandy says his 10K cards look great. Well, that is great to hear, Sandy. You've been killing it too. MTC says, I'm a graphic designer and I can help with 9x12s if anyone has one sold out or is looking to work with a reliable designer. Well, shoot your info on there. Drop your email or an address for sure. Yeah, someone using VPN. I know, that's why. There's not someone in the Congo. They're just using a VPN. It would be kind of cool though if someone actually was in there. Atlanta traffic is crazy. That's what I hear. Worldwide for sure. Eddie says, got my cards today. They look fantastic. Thank you. Dying. You ever like swallow wrong that's like trapped in your throat? EDM Tools, Will Bradwell says his first one took 6 months. Jeez. Eugene says, what is the optimal print quantity to order with your printing service? Optimal is 5,000. 10,000 is slightly more, but the difference between 5 and 10 isn't a whole big difference efficiency-wise. It gets drastically cheaper when you go to 5,000 of pretty much anything. 5,000 is where you see the biggest price break. It's the most efficient. 10,000 is a little bit more per piece cheaper, not a whole lot more, a little bit more. And then after that, it really doesn't get it. I mean, 50,000 and 10,000 isn't really that much difference in cost. So 5 and 10,000 really are the best. Canva Pro version is a must. I would say yes. And they have the big announcement, the big launch coming up. I can't wait to see that. They're always coming up with something. Vicky Ruelas is here. Wendy Yohei is here late today, but that's all right. Out selling, selling another ad. Nice. Reggie says that the people are using the VPNs trying to stay away from the side hole. Asks, did I figure out your monitor situation? I'm building a new studio upstairs, and I have not gotten that far. Everyone tells me a different thing. You tell me one thing, another person says, no, they're wrong. This is right. You only need this. I just want 2 monitors to display the same picture. That's all I want. But everyone tells me a complete different thing. Everyone says a complete different thing, and everyone says they're a pro. I need to see it from someone who knows, who's done it. I need, off one laptop, I need 2 monitors vertically squished together, same exact image. Not the same here and same here, just one thing dragged across. That's all I want. Everyone has a different, I have 10 people that have told me for sure this is what you need, and then they're all different. They're totally different opinions. Some say I need a controlling module. Some say that a matrix thing. Some people say I just need a splitter. Some say I have to have a computer with 2 HDMI outs. Some say no, you can do it with 1. I don't know. Madeline Oliveira on her 10,000 9x12. Attending local network events have been very helpful for her. That's great to hear. I'm just trying to catch up here. Randall says it's all good. You and your team are top notch. Appreciate you. We're in production right now on your cards. We should be done with them pretty soon. Better a stepchild than a side chick. You don't have a video editor. No, and I don't want to be bombed with video editing requests. Well, Emily will be here in the summer, and she'll for a long time, Carrie Lynn, if you guys remember Carrie, my old longtime assistant. We had a great system. I'm very picky with editing. I'm very, very picky. I just don't like to do the rough cutting, and it was really nice for years. That's why I put out so many products, was because we would shoot video, and then she would do just the rough edits, and then I would do the final cuts the way I want it. That was a really great system. So no, and when you hire editors, they want to do things their way, and they want to edit things the way and I have a specific style that I like. So I just need someone to rough edit, and it'll be nice to have someone here. I can pound out videos and just have them rough edit them, and I can clean them up and do the fine edits, and we can bang out these videos again. But she'll be here all through the summer, so expect a large amount of video. That's my big goal this summer and spring. I want to put out 3 to 4 videos per week on YouTube plus shorts. And I think I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, Dorn. We have Dorn and his wife Lucy's hoodies, Andrea. We really got to send them out. They're here. Sarah will tell you where they are. I don't remember. But we have them, and I just haven't shipped them out. I just literally haven't shipped them out. But we really should ship them out. They've been waiting like 2 months now. I will get Randolph's interview out, and know that when you hear it, it will be he's 2 more cards in, 2 or 3 more in. Johnny Clark says, are most businesses respond when you give them a templated ad? If you're going to do templated ads across your card, I think it's perfect. I mean, it's great, but no one ever does it. They all do custom ads, so I don't know. I like templated ads because it takes away the thinking, and you can upcharge them if they want a fully customized one, but I would say everyone else is doing custom ads, so just do custom ads. Stroke Mustang says he called 2 weeks ago to get prices. Calling is the slowest way. It's the very slowest way to get anything done here. It really is. There's, just by the time I'm on this, there's probably been 6, 7 calls. The phone rings non-stop, so it's on silent. We would all be on the phone all day, and nothing else will get done. So there's hundreds of voicemails. We just can't. I try to keep up on them, and I just can't. So email is monitored 24/7. We have a full staff on email. Please email. Just email. Calling is so slow. It's the slowest form of communication, so it just gets backburnered. We just can't. Every few days, I'll go through missed calls and voicemails and then screenshot them to Leanne or Kirk. The phone is, it's hard. It's really hard to get to every call. So just email. It's the fastest. I'm just reading through comments. Ray says he doesn't see a 9x12 option when ordering. You got to email us for the best rates. Oh my God, I'm so far behind on these comments. I'm so sorry. Someone said he just left us. The Waylon tribute says, why can't I find your channel on YouTube? I love Waylon. He's about all I listen to. So big shout out to Waylon. Huge shout out. JB family needs to be interviewed by Jake. Is that the wait, I can't remember. Is that the I'm supposed there's a I gotta look that up. I'm supposed to do a couple like partnership things with a couple people, and I've been behind on that. I can't keep track of it all. And I feel bad because people think I'm ignoring them, and I'm not. I have Canva ad templates for sale. HighResponseMarketing.com/50pack. I think it's FIFTY pack. You got to get that, Joshua. Good to see you. Good to see you. Dion Daniels says, Jay, quick question. If I'm doing a 9x12, how much bigger can I go with a 9x12 without paying more on the print? Yeah, 11x14, if you go on thinner cardstock, isn't too bad. But you really can't go bigger. You go 12x15, you're going to get, this is a 12x15, you're going to get into some crazy astronomical costs. So 9x12 or 11x14. Live in Minnesota. My man Waylon. His agent. They're important when they got an agent. Spin that wheel. Okay, let's do some gifts, okay? Gifts. Oh, why don't we have a shout out for Dorn? Did we not? Is Zoe on here? Can you make a sticker? I don't know if Zoe's on here. I didn't see her. I mean, Jane can too, but I've tasked Zoe. Why do we not have what the heck? I try to shout everyone out with 9x12s, and it's like trying to, and then the most important ones get left out. Unbelievable. I try so hard. You ever done it where like the most important thing slips through and then the minor things all go through, but the most important things just... Judy plus 6 is here. Great to see you. Could you make a sticky tab on that, Andrea? Mm-hmm. Dorn and Lucy Brenton plus Randolph. Mark Gershon says he'll fly down and set up the monitors. Why do you say it's super easy and everyone else says it's this most challenging thing, and every single other person? But I don't want to buy 2 monitors and find out that this is not the monitors I need. I just want to buy them and plug this thing in. Operating system's going to be... I'm a Mac user, but I'm just going to use a Windows laptop for this. Barb says, do you mean one picture shared on 2 screens? Yes. Imagine 2 screens right here. A screen here vertically and a screen here. So you see, because 3 will be too much. I want like 2 right here and just a static image. Maybe I'll put some 9x12 cards. Maybe I'll put people's pictures. Maybe I'll put a scene on. Just 2 monitors, not a picture here and a picture here. Just the whole thing. The whole... as one, like a video wall. Just 2 monitors vertically. That's all I want to do. It's all I want to do. That's it. JB says, I'm a rural carrier and deliver to 570 addresses every day. See, the carriers know exactly how many are on the route, and sometimes that thing changes with if they didn't shovel their driveway, or someone's got their mail forwarded for the week, or someone died, and there's all these things that happens. Okay. There's so many email Derek Duncan, please. I got to do these winners, the prizes. Derek says, I want a prize. Just email Zoe at printingforsupercheap.com. You can email me too, but make sure Zoe does, because she keeps track of it all. Take care of the people that won already. I'm sure. Am I missing something? I don't know. I can't. Ultimately, it falls back on me, but I'm trying to juggle everything. That's why I had to take a bunch of prizes away, because I can't make shirts. Like, I can't send them. I got someone waiting for 2 months. Don't know what to do. I can't be sitting here keeping track. I'm trying to make sure, 10,000 piece orders go out, and then I feel bad I leave and I didn't get someone's hoodie out or something. I don't know. I don't use Windows. I hate Windows, but to run a TV, I'm not going to buy a Mac to run one TV. Otherwise, I'm using all Macs. That's all I use. But for a thing to run a TV, there's no point in buying a MacBook just to operate 2 things. Oh, my God. Michael Elliott, great content. Thanks. Join that elite membership. You're going to love it. Raja says you need an adapter to 1 input HDMI and multi-output HDMI. That's what I'm hoping. But everyone says that won't work. I need a matrix controller. I need a thing. I don't know. Jessica from the Community Connect is here. The couponing tribe. Great to see you. You won't have black in the middle, Dan Williamson says. But it won't be this big. I need, with 2 screens, I can fill this whole area. 2 screens. Plus, it'll look more newsy, with the thing in the middle. Oh my God. Sam Malik says, I gotta do these contests. I sent 1,000 postcards for a friend's restaurant. Only got 2 customers. 1,000 is nothing. 1,000 sounds like a lot. It's nothing. It's a very tiny amount to mail. It's very, very tiny. It's like when you mail 1,000 postcards out, it's like flipping quarters. You don't know what's going to cut. You can't get a good piece of metric data out of it. You really can't. Just like if you got a ton of response, you can't say, oh, if I did 10,000, I get 10 times the response, because 1,000 is too small. It's very, very small of a mailer. And 2 customers out of 1,000 could be right on, you know. There's a lifetime value involved in that, and that might have just been, I don't know. There's so many variables. Could be a crappy restaurant, crappy location, new restaurant, bad reviews that drive people away. Maybe the offer wasn't that great. There's so many things that can influence that, and you are throttled by this very small quantity of mailers. 10% off, I just see that now, is 10% off. Isn't, no one is going to say, oh my God, we have to go here right now. It's 10% off. All 10% off does is gets people who are already going to go there to bring a coupon in. They're already coming anyways, and they're like, it will not drive, 10% off won't drive anyone to do anything. No one's going to get off of the bread. We better go here. 10%. Yeah, and before Christmas, and it's only 1,000. There's a lot of things working against you here. I do not do DTF transfers, but I know a guy that does an amazing job. He's my good friend. He's got a lot of DTF printers, and if you want the hookup, he might be the best thing. AB says, are we going to talk about today's 9x12 EDM topic or just hang out? I'm trying. You know, it's hard when you go because they keep getting these questions. Michael Kerr is waiting for a hoodie. Can we write that? So now I'm doing customer support and the things. If you want to write that down, Andrea, Michael Kerr is looking for his hoodie. Holy crap. I buy a refurbishment. I'm just trying to run 2 monitors. Why would I have to buy a Mac to just have it sit there and run 2 monitors? What difference would a Mac make to run 2 monitors? I'm not running it off my main system. I got MacBooks up the wazoo. I'm just trying to run 2 monitors. Originally, I just wanted to use a Chromebook, just some kind of unit that's all I want. We don't have to buy a Mac to run 2 monitors. Holy crap. All right. I really have to do, I really got to talk about today's response rate, and I have to give prizes away. Joshua Polche says, response rate has been interesting. I had a dog groomer get 17 booked responses after. That's incredible. I don't know if you're saying that's a little bit or a lot, but that is an incredible ROI. You know, the fact that, not that it's 10,000 mailers, but the fact that it's just off a space on a 10,000 piece mailer. So they only spent maybe $600 and got 17 booked, which is outstanding. Outstanding. I would use a Mac. Why? I love Mac. I don't use Windows. All my devices are Mac. I got MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, a Mac Mini, an iMac, iPhone, iPads. But why would I buy a Mac just to run 2 monitors? What does a Mac do better at running 2 monitors than a simple Windows laptop? Aaron Bush says, trying to help you to help your lake. Why isn't Aaron Bush's picture? Crap, that's another. Can you write that down, Andrea? I don't know if Zoe's on here. I don't think she's on here. But Aaron Bush is supposed to be on here because he's got a 9x12 out. So that's another one missed. Lara, I shouted you out too. I'm sorry. I should have had your... Maybe I did have you on there. I don't remember. All right. Can I do some contests? Then can we talk about response? I don't even know how to run the contest. I got to do it this way. I think I can do this. There we go. Today's prizes. See, I want to add more stuff on here, but it's got to be stuff I can give away easily, because I was giving away these hoodies and stuff, and it was just, I never get them sent out. Madeline, a 9x12er. You deserve this. What'd you win, Madeline? Nice job. I don't know if she's still on here. Madeline is going to win something good. Something good for you, Madeline. She just got her 10,000 piece 9x12 card. You won the print from scratch guide. That's outstanding. Just send me an email. I'll give you that. If you don't have it, it's amazing. It's great. It's how to sell print from scratch. It's really great. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Of course, this I got to refresh or something. Michael Elliott says he's enjoying the hangout. I do too. That's what it's for. It's a lot. It's not meant to be condensed down into a like a regular YouTube video. Who else is winning right here? I almost saw Zoe win. Christian. It's probably Christian 413. I didn't see you comment there, but you must have. Isn't this cool, Andrea? Yeah. I have a physical one too that we can spin sometimes too. Supersonic Marketer. You're going supersonic. You're going to get the Supersonic Marketer. Nice job. DRC says, I asked ChatGPT. They give models of Windows computers, but that run 2 monitors. Yeah, I don't know if I need to buy a fancy. This is complicating it even more. I think you just need a thing to. I don't know. Dan Kennedy talks about 5,000 minimum. I have a YouTube short that's really good. If you go through my shorts, I talk about it. 5,000 is, I think, for EDDM. I think for targeted, you can go as low as 1,000. But EDDM, 5,000 is where you start seeing actual, like reliable results. See, this person says a dual matrix card. A lot of people are saying that. And Aaron Bush, I appreciate your business a ton. You've been crushing it. Supersonic is a good one. Joshua, you are one of the very few that are actually taking a lot of these other concepts like selling print, and eventually I think you'll do consulting too, and making a lot of profit off that. Should I include businesses in my EDDM mailing? That's a great question. I think so, yeah. For me, I like to. I like a business because you get a lot more exposure. One business getting it, you got a potential advertiser. Plus, you got all the people that are going to receive the mail. You got a whole office that'll be sharing the stuff around. I probably should make a whole video just on that. This person says, I don't know, says you need a Linux. I think you meant Linux, but I don't think you need a Linux operating system. I don't know. This is getting too techie. Andrew Murphy says he loves these streams. Well, I love that you love them. We have 169 people on here. It'd be nice to break 200, but it is what it is. Hit that like button. Miley OR is here. It's great to see you, Miley. I haven't seen you in a couple streams. It's good to see you. The Couponing Tribe says, what's a good commission structure? Ooh, that's a whole topic in itself. Whole topic. Oh my God, there's so much to that. So much to that. It's hard to pin that down in one answer. I would say if you are just broadly generic, give them 20%. But there are so many things to, like, whether X amount when they sell half the card, X amount when they sell the full card, when do they get paid, how fast they need to do it, do they get a bonus if they fill it up faster? There is so much to that. Plus you have issues like 1099ing and employee. There's so much. Sandy's going to go do an EDDM delivery. Good to see you, Sandy. AB says you need MS-DOS and Oregon Trail to run 2 monitors. I know you missed 2 of them, I haven't seen you. You're one of my top commenters. Who is the top? Let's see who's the top right now. Oh, hit in the chat some emojis. So what do you think of the stream so far? Hit that. Let's talk about response. I can always talk about response. I love talking about response. Lars Mullen says Thursday highlight is Jake's live. That's the highlight of Lars's week, and I appreciate that so much. A ton. Hit them emojis, and let's see what we think of this stream so far. Michelle is here. It's great to see you. Madeline says, how do you feel about referral partnerships and fees? I don't know exact. Give me an example. Do you mean like if someone, like a friend, or you put the word out there and someone refers? I don't know if you saw, you just won too. Refers you. I like taking care of people. Someone hit the heart. Someone hit the crying happy face or something. I've never seen that one. Now in iPhone, you can make your own emoji. Sarah just noticed that. Did she ever say hi? No. She never did, huh? Never saw her. Man, getting stood up by my own other half here. Yeah, you can make your own emojis now. Rayner's here. Rayner better give me something after paying that $75 to ship all the way to Canada. Oh, you won. What did she win? Print from scratch. She just won print from scratch. She must have stepped away from the computer. Let her know. Do you have a thing you can type on there? And tell her to email Zoe at printingforsupercheap.com. All right, response. Let's talk about response because we really do need to talk about response. I'll leave these up here. Oh, it says, I love how it's, I don't know why I have Joe Diaz's comment up there. Response with postcards. Let's talk about that. Response. Switch the conversations to ROI. Anytime someone is asking you questions about response or you're thinking about response, switch that over to ROI. Response is not something you can accurately predict at first. It's a really, really crazy metric. It's a very useful metric, but it's not useful until you've done mailings. Okay. I always say it's like running. You can't, if someone's never ran before and they say, how fast should I run this mile in? You don't know. Okay, you don't know. There's certainly an average is around 10 minutes a mile, but that doesn't mean that you'll run 10 minutes a mile. You may run it faster. You may not even be able to run it. We don't know. There's so many variables. But once you have ran that mile, now we know, oh, you ran it in 12 minutes, and now this is your time. Same with mailing. Do a mailing. And look at what the response rate is, and now you will have your response rate. If you have never mailed before, you don't know. And even if you've done it one time, it's not a statistical, accurate thing because there are many other variables. Have you been mailing for a year? You look a year down the road and you mail every month and you're mailing 10,000 pieces every month of something. You can now look at that response rate. It's very predictable. Now you know, okay, let's do another one. And you can look at trends over time and different seasons. And you can notice that your response rate goes higher. We ran this kind of promotion and we saw a change. Response rate only really matters. It's only useful after that period of time, because it's so customized to you. The response rate of a pizzeria offering a free slice of pizza is going to be very different than the response rate of a kitchen and bath remodeler. So there is no way of predicting. There are some general guidelines. There are things like you can, I don't want to say expect, but you can, when I'm factoring in trying to predict an ROI, I gauge it against this is me personally, I gauge it against a response rate of, if it's targeted, 1%. So if I'm looking through and I'm saying, okay, they want to get a 5 to 10 times ROI, and I'm trying to figure out how much lifetime value and how many, okay, if we get 5 customers, what kind of response rate does this translate to? And if it's in this range of like 0.5 to 1% and it's going to a targeted list, I'll say, okay, this all looks like it's lining up. Yes, if we can get 10 people to call, which we know will translate probably to 5 customers. If we can get 10 people to call, I look at that 10 and I look at 1,000 and I say, okay, this might work. This is in their range. Now, if it was like 30 customers and I'm sending 500 pieces out, the math may not be math in there because the response rate would be just too outrageously high. Just broad ranges in targeted mailings, 1 to 2% is achievable. It's something that's definitely achievable. In EDDM, it's going to be a fraction of that. It might be 0.1%, 0.25%, maybe 0.5%, if it's because the EDDM is going to hit a lot of non-targets. 0.5% response rate on EDDM is generally outstanding. It's generally incredible. 0.1%, 0.25% is more common. But this all depends on the business. There's many variables, many variables. So it's way better to just look at ROI, especially at first. You can achieve, I can't tell you what kind of response rate you'll get. No one can predict that. All of us would be millionaires tomorrow. We'd drop everything we're doing and just sell houses because we could guarantee a response rate. We'd sell private jets If we could guarantee a response rate, we just do a postcard for a couple private jets and we make a few $100,000 tomorrow and a few $100,000 the next day. It doesn't work that way. ROI, you can predict though. A 5 times to 10 times ROI is totally achievable by nearly anyone. You put the right postcard together, even if you don't put the right postcard and you just kind of half get it right, you can get a 5 to 10 times ROI. That's 5 to 1 on your money, up to 10 to 1 on your money. You start going over 10, that's a little crazy, but 5, 6, 7 times ROI, that's 500% ROI. It means you spend $1, you get back $5. Totally achievable. What that response rate is it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Now, the key to understanding ROI is understanding lifetime value. Is the customer or you as the business owner understanding what a response is worth, what a customer is worth, and working backwards and figuring out what a response is worth. Like a lawn care company. Last year, there was a kid who's still doing mailings now. Someone does the peach emoji. And the gorilla. The biggest one is the freaking chimpanzee in the middle. And a taco and a helicopter. There was a kid last year. He still mails. He might be on here. I don't remember. But he was like, he's got a landscaping business, lawn care landscaping. He's like, I just want to do... It was like 500 cards or something. It was very small quantity, which sometimes can work with landscaping in the right season. But he's like, if I can get I think it was 72. If I can get 72 clients, I'm happy. They might have been 1,000-piece mailer. And he must have done some kind of calculation of percentage. And he goes, if I can get 72 clients, I'm happy. And I had to bring him down to reality that, you're not going to spend $500 and get 72 lawn care clients. Like, the ROI on that would be so astronomical. 72 new clients for $500 would be so outrageous. It's just not realistic. So a big thing is getting the business owner or yourself, if you're a business owner, to understand that one yard client, one lawn care client is not... You have to think of the lifetime value. A lot of contractors don't think of that. They just think of, if I can get one kitchen job, if I can get one, it's more common with like service related, it's like lawn care type stuff or pest control. Like, you're only looking at the initial purchase, but once you get one customer, you are likely getting them back. Most people, they're not going to mow their lawn once. They're going to mow their lawn through the year. So you have to factor that in. Every single new customer is worth way more than $50. Like, it's worth hundreds of dollars. It might be worth thousands of dollars. So you may only need a handful of customers, not 100 customers. The ROI would be too crazy. It would be above 10%. If you're looking at something, if you're thinking about doing a mailer, you're working with a client, they're thinking about doing a mailer, and what they're expecting to get looks like it's going to be higher than a 10x ROI, you got to bring them down to reality, because those kind of things are really hard to achieve. If they're going to spend $1,000 and they're expecting to get something back that's going to make them $50,000, that is too high of an ROI. It's not realistic. It's not going to happen. They're going to be depressed. Even though they might be making money, they're going to be depressed because they don't understand. A lot of these people don't understand marketing. And they just think they can spend a few $100s and make $60,000. That's not going to happen. AB says, if I can get 72. I know, I feel bad if that person's in here, but he still mails. So we brought him back down to reality. His name's Nick. I don't know if he's in here. Yeah, 72. Yeah, he's like 72 jobs. If I got 72 jobs, I'm happy. Oh my God. We got to tone that down a little bit. Joshua says, I love ugly postcards. Joshua Polche's so funny. He's doing so good too. AB says, how many actually scan a QR code? I'm not a perfect tracking metric. Oh, Rainer Fisher contributing back to my $75 international shipping fund here. Thank you, Rainer. Appreciate that, buddy. I'm sorry it took so long. It took me like 2 months to send his samples out because no one wanted to ship it to Canada. No one here would look up the rate to ship it to Canada. It took 2 months. No one would look it up. And I'm like, so the other day, he's like, Jake, this is taking 2 months. He goes, I really just want these samples. So I did it. I'm like, I'm just paying for this thing. And he was willing to pay for it, but I just said, you'd be taking so long. Salvador says, I'm colorblind, but ChatGPT has got my back with proper color palettes. Canva is great with that too because it just suggests the right colors, which is amazing. You pick a color, it just looks at what you got going on, and it tells you which color to use. It gives you a whole palette to pick. Rainer says, with that price, I expected special delivery by limousine and marching band. I could have maybe checked maybe UPS Saver or something. I was not going to send it USPS because that thing would not get to Canada anytime soon. So I just did FedEx International. That was the cheapest was $75. I think it was like $150 for an even faster service. Mike McLean says, I hope he had a great anniversary. We had an amazing anniversary. It wasn't very long because we had to pick our kid up from a dance at like 8 p.m. So we couldn't even leave till after that. But it was great. We had a great time. Thank you. 19 years. Greg Colozzi. I never know if I'm saying it right. If it's Colossi or Colozzi. I think it's Colossi. Might be Colozzi. Or out there in Rochester killing it. I'm waiting to do a shout out for you too. Why didn't we get Greg's on there? Can you write that down too? Greg's got, what the heck, man? What the heck? Juan Quintero says, would you recommend the Elite Group or buying an email course? I would recommend the Elite Group. You cannot go wrong. Spend the $44. If you don't like it, cancel it, but you're going to love it. The group is fantastic. It's like the most amazing Facebook group there is. It really is. Plus, you get the cheaper printing. You get a whole bunch of free stuff. Sarah Walsh says, I'm curious as to commission as sales commission. We can talk a little bit about it. Sales commission. What you don't want to end up, there's a few things you don't want to end up. You don't want to end up underpaying people because then they start getting involved in this and they may start thinking to do it themselves. And they may be like, why am I could just do this myself. So it's very important to not reveal printing sources or any of the stuff that you get designers, because you don't want those really lucrative things for you to get to where they steal your business, they steal your idea. So you got to be really careful about that. And you don't want to be paying people and then they fail. They fail halfway through the card and now you're stuck having to do the rest and you've already paid them. So you have to really think about that, how you're going to structure that so that it's fair and they're making money, but you got to put them under a time limit. You got to make sure really the best way to do these things is to get them all the preparation they need, like the list of businesses. Here's what I want on the card. Here's all the businesses. So they're not having the prospect too, because you want salespeople just out selling. That's why ideally you have a lead generator and a salesperson. You shouldn't really make the salesperson do the lead generation too. And you can give them a bump if they generate their own leads also. That's a whole other animal. But I lose my train of thought. You want to make sure that they're making enough money and not hurting you, where they're halfway through the card and they're burnt out and they're not making any money or they're frustrated and now you have to finish out the rest of the card and everyone's angry at each other. So you got to pay them really fairly. But ideally, you want to give them what's it called? Expectations. You need to visit at least 5 of these businesses a day, at least 5 owners a day, something like that. So they're kept on track so that they make the sales they need to, and they're not dragging out for weeks because ultimately it's going to fall back on you. The downside of that is it's going to put you into employee territory. You start demanding certain things. You got to be careful because they're not 1099, they're employees, and that can run into issues. Complicated, complex topic. I had employees steal from me where the guy was, my right-hand guy was double charging ads. I don't even know if you know that story, but he was pushing out cards for me and he was a great salesperson. But then one day he couldn't fill the card we were working on fast, and advertisers started getting antsy. And one was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to put this ad up. I thought this thing was going to be out or something. Maybe she had a promotion. I don't remember. And I was like, okay, no problem. I'll refund. And then she's like, I gave her back the like 300, and she's like, because we did add a discount. Plus, this is a while ago. And she's like, no, it's 600, And I'm like, no, it's just 300. And she's like, no, I gave him 600. I'm like, I have the contract right here. I have the thing here. It's 300. She's like, I gave him $600. I have it on. And then she sends me a picture and it says 600. And I'm like, I'm looking at it and it says 300. Andrea just turned over looking at it. He was double contract. So he was going to her, telling her it's 600, getting the cash, then writing a separate contract to me and saying she can only do 300. She wants it. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And he writes 300. So I get a thing saying 300. She gets a thing saying 600, and he keeps the $300 difference. And then there's another and then now I'm in a pickle, and now this contractor is like, I want my money back. And he's like, I gave this guy $500. And I'm like, I didn't even, I'm seeing a thing for 300. And that was a big issue. So he was stealing from me, doing the old double contract. Yeah. And I had another thing to think of with commission reps. So this is my right-hand guy for a long time, right? He was a fantastic salesperson. A lot of times salespeople are degenerates. They have gambling or drug addictions. They have some kind of issues. And that's why they're good salespeople, because they're hustlers and they got to make that money. And when they can make some money today, they will go to a lot of lengths to get that money. I mean, a heroin addict comes up with the money. Fentanyl addict, they come up with the money. They're hustlers. So a lot of times good salespeople are degenerates or they have gambling addictions, whatever it is. So in this case, I had a really good customer who was advertising with me for years. Really great guy, very personal with him. Had a lot of businesses. He still has a lot of businesses. And he was a longtime advertiser on my card, and he then wasn't responding to my emails, and I couldn't understand why, and after a while, and he said, I got to be honest with you, Jake. He goes, this guy that you sent to me, I didn't like him. He goes, I didn't get a good, whatever. He's like, I didn't like the way this guy was doing business, and it turned me off. I don't want to do business with you anymore. And that was like, oh my God. You start realizing you're giving a commission sales rep or any employee, they're the face of your company for that moment. Like, that's their contact. And that was rough. And I repaired that relationship to a degree, but never fully recovered. So you have to be very vigilant about stuff like that. What you think may be a great partnership could turn out to be a lot of issues. I'm catching up with comments right now. Ron Douglas says he's looking in the sales, looking to see if I'm a junkie. We all, all of us entrepreneurs have. I always say we always got something wrong with us in our heads. I mean, every one of us in the comments here, we're all entrepreneurs, which alone you got to be nuts. Like it's crazy, to risk everything that we do for often no pay and very high risk. We're all crazy. Is stupid to some degree. But salespeople, people who will work in sales and do a good job, work on commission, they generally do have some kind of degeneracy. It's usually some kind of gambling or pill problem, painkillers, or what's another degenerate thing? I don't know. Every now and then you get someone who is not a junkie like myself or something, who just tends to be a good. I didn't even know I was good at sales. I didn't even know. I had no clue. And then all of a sudden I was the top salesperson for the company I was working for. But I just followed the system. I just followed a system, and I have a risk. I'll take risks. A lot of people don't want to take risks and risk not making any money. They find the comfort in a steady income. I never did. But salespeople in general, and you can have great salespeople, and then they can crush your business. They can leave, they can die, they can go to jail, and all of a sudden you don't have that good salesperson. So they come with a lot of baggage. They really do. Anne says that she can relate. You got to be careful with that stuff. And we can talk about sales in depth and still never cover it. Mike McLean says, when I worked in a marketing company, we got sit for a few days if we didn't meet our sales goal. Definitely made you push your sales harder and hit more customers. It's like that old movie, Glengarry Glen Ross. If you've ever seen it, it's fantastic. And he only gives the Glengarry leads. Anyone ever seen that movie, Glengarry Glen Ross? You ever seen it, Andrea? Oh, what a great movie. It's got all these top actors. I can't remember who they are now offhand. It's got a lot of them. Isn't Al Pacino's in it? Alec Baldwin. And they're all like salespeople. And they have the good leads, the Glengarry leads. And they're all stuck with these poor leads, these useless leads. But they don't get the Glengarry leads because they're not good enough at sales. And it's like this. It's very true. You start to think that you only if you're given a lot of leads, you'll start to cherry pick things, and you don't want to do anything with the less than gold leads, and you get lazy. But having systems like this in place where you're forced to work with what you have is very efficient, because then you don't have salespeople burning leads. Why are you busting on salespeople? I'm allowed to, Dorn, because I am at heart a salesperson. So I am I'm not a junkie, but I'm a degenerate in many ways of just like risk, and it's that chase of it's just I don't have the junkie tendencies. But you have to be a good salesperson. Commission salesperson, you have to have something that is driving you to do that. There's got to be something in you that drives you to make a sale that day, or multiple sales that day, where you can't sleep if you don't make sales. If you live a comfortable lifestyle and everything is comfortable for you, it's not easy to have that mindset because everything's comfortable. So by nature, degenerate people, and it sounds so bad when I'm saying it, but like people with issues where they have to make money are good salespeople. Some people are in a bad position and they may be taking a sales job on because they want to get themselves out of that position. But then if that changes, they start making money, they get lazy. That's a common thing with salespeople. They might make some sales and they're like, yeah, I'm having a good week. And then they completely bomb. And you don't see any sales from them. You don't see any activity, no hustle. And then they get that paycheck runs out, and now they're feeling the effects of having no money, and then they start hustling again. That's a poor way to run the sales staff, because you're at the mercy of how much money they're making. Degenerates, for lack of a better word, always need the money. They always need it because maybe they have a gambling habit. Maybe they have a pill habit or something. There's something that's driving them to constantly make sales. There are rare exceptions like myself or Kirk if he's in here, where we are always hungry. Always hungry. As a business owner, this works for me. Some of you may be like this too. Because it's very easy to look and say, Jake, you're doing great. You got all these sales. Why are you still trying to make more? Why are you taking on more business? Why is it so important to get these things out the door? Why is it so important to get these jobs moving? You're making all this money. Because it's just in us. It's just in us that we have to do more. There has to be more. Things have to consistently keep moving. It's that comfort. Many of you are like this too. Which is good for entrepreneurs. It's not great for employees. It's great for entrepreneurs, where we are very comfortable being uncomfortable. We have to be uncomfortable all the time because there has to be more. We get very nervous when things are going smooth. Sarah says, just a friend looking to make some extra pocket money, not looking for a job. Do you think $100 per ad fair? And just say, I want $500 per slot if you can sell it high. You can try it, but I think you're gonna learn the hard way. I think it's an honorable thing that you want to do, and it's worth venturing into. It's worth it. I say give it a shot. If she actually or him, if you think they could really use the money and this might be a good fit, go for it and see what happens. But you will run into issues when they sell 3 ads and you pay them. and now they drop off. What do you do? I mean, maybe you just say, okay, they sold 3 ads and they made a few $100s. Maybe that works for you. But I would not count on that person to be selling whole cards and doing all your sales work for you and making all this money. I'm willing to bet that things will get complicated and things will fizzle out and not go the way they want. But at the same time, I think you should try it and see and hope for the best. Maybe you sell some ads and feel good that you helped your friend get some cash. How many of you guys agree with me on all this? Joshua Polche says, I had a client quit because no one used his offer. I explained to him the importance of consistency, but he was set on renting banner space on a gym. But he doesn't know this, but I sold the gym the banner. Some people just aren't, business owners aren't always really that keen to marketing. They're not all that adept. Any successful business, chances are they're not really that successful of a business. They may even look like they're successful, but I bet you they're not, because a successful business almost always is doing marketing. And when I say successful, I mean making money, making customers, making profits, growing. It requires advertising and marketing, and any business doing that is going to see the value in this, and they're not going to freak out when they don't see something right off the bat. So this is a business that just probably wouldn't have gone very far anyways, and will always be spinning their wheels trying to figure it out. If you're giving this up if you can't afford a few $100s to get in front of 10,000 people and be the only gym on there, you probably are not cut out to be a business owner. You're probably better off just being an employee type, hobby type business owner. Jeremy says, I will have lead gen done by a VA in the Philippines, and sales will be entirely online again. Go for it. Dorn says, don't pay commission until the card is full. The biggest little postcard says, just sign up for the elite membership. Oh, you better request to join that group. Is Zoe in this chat? Have you seen Zoe? She done dropped me. I saw Jane once. Just signed up for the membership. So far, the information that I've gone through is amazing. Just waiting on the elite group now on Facebook. Well, I gotta approve that right away. Wait, let me do it right now. Let me approve that right now. And then I'll look at these other comments. I hope that helps on closing, though. I know it took me a little bit to get to it, but that's what the live streams are for. That's what these live streams are for. Where are you? Even Megan don't show up on these. They used to. You'd think, but I don't see it. I don't see the request. Oh, right here. I don't see a request. Or I'm not looking in the right place. I get it later. Yep, Madeline's getting her. She had a little hiccup there for her 9x12, but it's about to go out. She's about to send it out. Selling exposure, Eddie Brock says. Yeah, I can't stress this enough. Why aren't I talking more about that? For 9x12s, this is specifically for 9x12s. You are only selling exposure. That is it. It's very easy to sell on response. It's very easy to make sales when you just use the logic that, hey, this is going to 10,000 people. Even if you get 1%, you're going to get all these customers. You're going to get it's so easy to sell ads like that. Trust me, I've done it. And it's like the easiest thing in the world. Then you don't get any repeat advertisers because they're all depressed when you didn't bring them 100 people. Because you took the easy way selling it, using that logic that is actually very faulty. You are only selling exposure. That's it. You are not selling any kind of response. We're not crystal ballers. We can't understand. We can't foresee into the future. We can't. I don't know what your little crap business is going to do. No clue. No clue. There's not an advertiser in the world that can give you any kind of guarantee. So this is just exposure. That's it. If you want to be the only gym, the only HVAC, the only pool company on here, and go out to it's going to 10,000 homes. If you want to be the only one on here, it's $600. It's 6 cents a piece, however you want to word it. That's it. You're essentially selling real estate. It's just real estate. It's just like a billboard. There's no guarantee. You just have valuable space. There's 100,000 cars that are going to be going by, and they're going to see you. Whatever you find the value in that is up to you. If they balk, if they hesitate, you can always say, you know, I understand. I totally get it. Might be more than you want to spend right now. But just don't be mad at me when I have another HVAC company on here. I would love to have you on there, but I really want HVAC or whatever the business is that they're in. I really want a pizzeria on here. I'd love to have you on here, but don't be mad if you see and name their competitors, say another one, because I'm only putting one per slot, however you want to say it. That puts it into perspective that, oh, this is way more than just about response. I want to be the only realtor. I want to be the only insurance. I don't want my competitor on there. And they're gauging, okay, for $600, like that seems pretty good. Like spending $500-$600 and getting 10,000 of these mailed out, and I'm the only whatever industry on there. You could bring them back to reality, a little crap business of theirs. Get their money before they tank. Jeremy Root says, in terms of design, do you have a set font and fonts? No, because fonts, this question comes up a lot. Fonts are different. Like, look at Impact at 8 point. You can't do it. Then look at Times Roman. You can. Like, it's every font has the point size is relative to the fonts. But in general, lower than 10 point, you're getting into fine detail stuff. So 10 to 12 point is pretty easily readable by most regular everyday fonts. You start going into 8, 9, 10, it better be for some fine print type stuff. I reuse a lot of the same, go-to. We all have our go-tos. I don't know what you use. Nye is here. Good to see you. There's probably a bunch of people that came up on here, and I wasn't paying attention to the comments. I'm starting to realize some business owners just don't get it. They jump from one thing and they won't see results that way. You can try to explain to them, but if they're not getting it pretty quick, then you know what? They're going to be out of business. Just remember, like 80% of all businesses are gone in I think it's 5 years. 80% fail. Most of the businesses you talk to will fail. It will be a disastrous failure. That is just the nature of the beast. You can sustain a business forever if it has cash. So sometimes businesses even last a while and they just keep dumping cash into it. They just keep putting more money into operating it. But a truly successful business almost always it thrives on marketing. It's putting money into marketing. And unless a business owner starts grasping that, they will go out of business. They'll just go out. So you might as well get their money while they're around. That's how I feel. Take that money and, don't have very high hopes. And then every now and then you're going to get a business owner that just gets it. They're like, yeah, let's do this. And they start thinking about their lead costs. They start thinking about their customer acquisition and stuff like that. And they start looking at it from a mathematical point of view, not just most people that are running businesses they're essentially employees. They're just self-employed people. And they're thinking, how many more houses can I install the siding on? No, they're not thinking of salespeople and how can I generate more leads. But it's nothing more gratifying than taking a newer business owner, a struggling business, and opening their eyes to this and saying, wow, I can buy customers. That's all you're really doing as a marketer. You're helping them understand how to buy new customers, how to spend money and get customers out of that. ATM machine. The good thing is Postcards make that really easy because Facebook ads and Google, it's a nightmare. Now that's a nightmare. I'm looking through these comments. Who's the top commenter? Let's see who the top commenter is. Wait, I got to get rid of Rainer's comment on there. Wait, I can throw someone else on there quick. AB is number 1. Joshua Polche, number 2. Nice job there. Deion Dales. We got Dorn on there. Tie-Dye Digital. Barbara's up there. Waylon is up there. Ray Galarza. Oh, nice. Fancy. And what were our top? Let's do some more prizes. I'll answer some more questions. Oh, the emojis went away. Well, they were fun while they lasted. I didn't know that I had to. Yeah, they went away. They were fun though. I didn't know it didn't save them. Let's do some more winners. How do I set a winner right here? Man, this app is crazy. More winners and more questions. I hope you guys are learning a lot today. What time is it? 2:30. Andrea said, how long do these go? I said, well, they're supposed to be an hour, but they kind of go on hour and a half, 2 hours. You having fun with it, Andrea? Yeah. It's interesting, right? Yeah. That's interesting. Ooh, Lara Amison, fresh off her. What she did, I can't remember how many it was, but she's got a share postcard. I'll run through the shout outs again. She just won. I don't know if she's still here. What'd you win, Lara? You're going to win. Go to print from scratch guide. You deserve that because I think you've been selling a little bit of print there too. Nice job. Nice job, Lara. What else we got? I used to give cash away, Andrea, and everyone's like, I don't want cash. I want one of your products. I don't want the cash. And the cash was easy because I would just Cash App it or Venmo or, yeah, but no one wants they want the products. Lawrence, nice. Larry, I think you go by Larry, if I remember right. What are you winning here? What are you winning? And what is Ann saying here? I see her Ann saying. Oh, you won the 9x12 Mastery course. Nice to have the big boy. That's a $275 course. Nice. Just email Zoe. And Albert Gotti says, I'm an entrepreneur, and I quickly found that money doesn't drive me. I had to find something. Oh, what a great topic. For many people, money. That's actually for me too. The money isn't the driver. It's not. It's at one point it was a long time ago, but it's no longer. So you have to find other things that will motivate you to hustle. There are so many. You got to sometimes just discovering these things and keep you doing it every day. That's so true. It's so true. That's why people get lazy too. When it's a money job, it's like, yeah, I got enough money. I'm not going to work as hard today. Rhonda says, so true. So many good salespeople are addicts of some kind. Yeah. And I got I don't care. I obviously don't want people to be junkies, but they have an issue or something and I just deal with it. Just wanting to part. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they want to live a certain lifestyle and the sales gets them to that lifestyle. You find a lot of people that are great in sales and they are complete messes financially, but they have the nice car, they have the nice clothes, but they have their bank account is all overdrawn and their credit cards are racked up and they can always find a way to buy that next thing, but their true net worth is almost nothing. Stand Up Talent says, I'm aiming for 6 out of 1,000 converted customers for my headlight cleaning service. Would you please give me a reality check? You would have to do, so you want 6, brain is a little foggy right now because I'm deep into this live. You want 6 out of 1,000 converted customers. I don't know why you're coming up with that. Oh man, do I want to get into this? 6 customers. I don't know why are you coming up with 6 customers? Is that because you're doing some kind of percentage thing with the 1,000? Do you just feel that you need 6 guys? I'm not sure where you're getting 6, where the 6 is coming from. Instead, you should be looking at ROI, that you want to spend X amount of money. You don't even have to get to that point yet. You just want X amount of ROI. You should be getting a 5 to 10 times ROI. I would stick with like 5, 6, 700% ROI. So I would look at how, let's say you want to spend $500. I won't go too much into that. I wish I could draw on the thing. Let's say you want to spend $500, because that's probably what 1,000 is gonna be. And if it's EDDM, I'm assuming you're sending EDDM. Ideally you'd want to target and just reach people with certain cars, but I think you're going to have to send more than 1,000 pieces out. So I think you're actually better right off the top of my head. You're probably way better doing a shared card, putting some time and energy and getting a shared card out, maybe with some other businesses that you think people will really like. You could get another auto business, maybe a pizzeria, something that'll have some sticking power and make them pay for your card, which is going to drive your costs way down, and your ROI will go really high because you're not going to have such high of a cost. You would want to look at what does $500 look like in terms of ROI. 5 times ROI is $2,500. So you would want to look at $2,500. You want to spend $500 and you want to make $2,500. That's a 5 times ROI. This is way better than looking at response. Then you have to think, okay, $2,500. What does $2,500 in business look like? What is $2,500 in business? I'm gonna guess that you are not just selling this headlight service. You may be, and if your customer is only, and do you get repeat customers? Are you selling them on something else when they do the headlights? Are you also detailing their cars? Like, is this just a headlight service? Because if it's just that, you're gonna have a little bit of a struggle because you won't be able to spend a whole lot of money to generate clients. If you're only getting $100, and it's costing you X amount of time and labor, and you got to do an estimate, and you have to drive there, or how are you getting these people and the tools and materials and maybe a friend's labor? Like, you may have all these costs. Like, do you even have the money to absorb into that and still make a profit after buying customers? That may be a real challenge. So I'm hoping that you have some kind of thing that you're selling that increases the value of each customer, that it's not just a $100 headlight cleaning, that it's something else. If it's just a $100 headlight cleaning company, you probably aren't going to be able to make the ROI you need to make a mailing successful. You would need to get other businesses on a card, pay for it, and then sell that $100 service. But if you can increase your customer's value of what $2,500 in business looks like to you, because I don't think it's what's 2,500 divided by 100? 25. I don't think it's 25. You would need 25 customers in order to get a 5 times ROI. You're not going to get 25 customers. Like, that just doesn't, for $500. I don't think that's going to work. I think you need to increase the value of each customer by having other services, something with some kind of lifetime value, more services, so that your ROI is more in the realistic range. I hope that makes sense. I hope so. Kevin Long says systems over everything in sales. It's a wild mix of art and science, but the science drives consistency. You being the business owner can set those expectations and keep the salespeople pushing. Even when they don't want to, if you're demanding that they need to talk to X amount of businesses a day, it can be a successful arrangement. That's hiring salespeople. That's like hiring salespeople 101. But if you just leave them to their own devices, that's where we get in trouble. That's where you get in trouble. People aren't going to be that motivated, and they're going to get quirky and unpredictable, and you're going to be spending a lot of money and having a lot of frustration. Robert Sales says, my father was a very successful salesman and had some of those issues. Mainly gambling is my old sales rep, Tony Darmetko, who was probably the best salesperson I've ever met. I wish Kirk was on here to hear this, because he would laugh. But he was a complete gambling degenerate. I mean, this guy was making like $5,000 a week, but he could never pay his rent. He could not. I mean, he would literally get his check. He would make $5,000. He'd make like anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000 a week in commissions. He was like in his 50s, Italian guy, Tony D. And every single week he would make that. I mean, he was an animal. But he would go cash his check at the casino and the horse tracks, and he would just gamble it all away. He would get his check on Friday and be sleeping in the parking lot on Monday because his landlord wouldn't lock the doors, so he couldn't get in before he paid the rent. I mean, it was crazy. And he told me, so he ends up stealing from the company. He ends up double contracting the company, taking $20,000 from a customer that he gambled away and couldn't pay back. in time for the double contract to work. So he gets arrested and stuff, but he tells me, I have a conversation with him, and he tells me, Jake, he goes, gambling. He goes, drugs will kill you. He goes, gambling won't kill you. He goes, it'll just take your money forever. He goes, you'll die from alcohol. You'll die from drugs eventually. He goes, you won't die from gambling. It will just keep taking your money. So that's the worst one. Greg says, how about the positive side of having salespeople? I think the correct way to, that's a great, I guess I kind of put it in a negative light. Let me just switch this to full me, because that is a great thing to write there. I am very pro salesperson, super pro. I mean, I have salespeople here. That's mostly what I know is sales. I think that to have a successful salesperson, they're great. Like, I think you need salespeople to really make this a success and make your business a success. You have to have salespeople, but you have to have lead generators and you have to have salespeople. You can't have both. I don't think it's good to have both. You have people that set the leads up. You don't have to pay them as much. They don't require as much as a salesperson, but you will have to pay them. So that's a cost that you're going to have to spend just for them to make the salesperson's job easier so they can focus on selling and not lead generating. So these are people that are going to set appointments. They're going to tell the salespeople where to go. They're going to find all the prospects. They're going to get them into nice lists for people. They might be calling. They might be sending emails. They get the leads. The salesperson and just has to sell. They have to be the one that's closing. That is the successful setup of sales, is to have lead generation and then a salesperson. Sometimes you need 2 lead generators for one salesperson if they're really good. And then you have to pay that salesperson well. They're going to be such a tremendous asset to you. Huge. If you want to grow, you have to have employees. You have to have employees. And it hurts as a business owner because you're giving up money, but you're buying back time. You know, you're letting things grow and you're taking time back to you where you can do the things that you should be doing. The salespeople are out there selling. You got to give them good commissions and you have to structure it really well so that they're making money and they're happy and things are moving along fast, but they're not allowed to be lazy. They're not allowed. There's no time to be lazy. Hope that makes sense. You just have to do it right. Giving people, saying, hey, go sell these ads for me and I'll give you 20% and stuff. You leave them to their own devices, it's going to fizzle out. I can 99% guarantee you it's going to fizzle out. You can't just tell someone, hey, I'm going to give you 20. You're going to run into issues. It has to be way more structured. As much as you guys might not want to hear that, it has to be structured like that, or you will regret it. I'm just telling you, you will regret it. Dorn says this entire episode is opinion and generalized opinion. I'm sorry it didn't meet your expectations, Dorn. I thought it was a tremendously gold content. MP Creative did not win. I'm sorry, buddy. You won a good live stream. Hanging out with a sleazy segment of Sam, the vast majority are not. They're degenerates. Listen, they're good salespeople are often degenerates. There's no way around it. You just have to set your expectations around that. Jeremy says, write the contract so that they must sell out the entire card to commission. Just people have this idea that people will be, oh my God, I can give, my friend this awesome opportunity and they'll go sell and they're just going to go, and you'll find that they don't. That sales is hard, is really, really hard, especially someone who has not done sales. It is hard. You're going to be talking to business owners. You're going to be doing a lot of uncomfortable things for the potential of no money, because I can almost guarantee all of you just want to pay on 100% commission. You don't want to pay them some kind of fixed rate. You want to pay them so strict commission. It is hard. And to take everyday people, that is a huge undertaking. Like, you are asking them, it may seem simple on the surface, but to ask someone to go and now be the face of your company and go sell ads for you and talk to random business owners for likely no money unless they sell. What happens when they go 3 days and they've driven all around, or 2 days and they made one sale and you're not even going to pay them until they sell the whole thing? And now maybe they've burnt a whole bunch of bridges and they talked to a whole bunch of people that you don't know what they just said. I'm just giving you a reality. Sales is great, and you need it to grow your business. You need salespeople to grow your business, but just leaving them to go out and do it is not that easy. Lucy is an excellent salesperson. She's not a degenerate. He's not a degenerate. I know Lucy is not a degenerate. There are exceptions. There are exceptional people, and they are far and few between. Salespeople are already rare. A good salesperson is a rare find. Most of them have issues. They have issues that drive them to being salespeople. Why else would you do jobs 100% commission and be hustling every single day for a feast or famine type structure? You have to have something different in your head than the vast majority of people. So the people who have those drives often do have these addictions. They have some kind of addiction that drives them where they have to make money now, and they spend that money and they have to make it tomorrow. There are not many people, Lucy, myself, there's others that are exceptions, which may have that drive that every single day is a new day, and it doesn't matter if they sold a whole ton yesterday, they need to sell a whole ton today. That is not common. For anyone to say that that's something that you can find, it's not. You're going to talk to hundreds of people and not find a person who can go out, hustle, risk everything, zero, feast or famine, and sell, and then want to do it again the very next day, and want to do it again the very next day. And it doesn't matter if they made $5,000 last week, they want to make $10,000 this week. That is not a common thing. Not common at all. It's a very rare find. So obviously people who have addictions and are, their money just depletes, and the only way they can make some cash the next day, you're going to find them in sales jobs. You're going to find, just like there's contractors, go to a gas station at 5 o'clock, and you're going to see a whole bunch of contractors buying cases of beer and having all sorts of issues and stuff, and DWIs, or carpooling because they got a million DWIs, because the nature of the beast is how many people are going to want to get up on a freaking roof in 100-degree weather, and because they can make cash that day, because they have whatever issues at home, whatever. They're degenerates to some point. I don't care. It's just the nature of the beast. You and I are not, I'm not going to go tomorrow and become a drywaller and want to drywall all day tomorrow and then get up on a roof and freaking crank my hand apart and destroy my knees, for 30 years or something, because I would lose the ambition of very, very fast. People do it because they have issues that deplete their money, and this is a way to get cash that day. So sales is just another extension of that. Mystical Dragonfly says, are non-compete agreements ever used in the industries? I don't know. That's a lot of that is state. You're talking about like for hiring people, and now you're talking about hiring. You can't 1099. To my knowledge, you can't 1099 independent contractor or someone and put them on a non-compete. I don't think that works. You'd have to be talking employees, and states have different non-compete clauses and the times that you can do it. I would chat GPT that, because every state's different, and how you're employing that person is going to play a factor, and how you're going to actually enforce it, and what are you going to enforce if they go. These people, any employee that's in a position where they're customer facing like that, can wreak havoc on your business. So you really have to take that into consideration, that they can destroy your connections. They can get people very mad. So you just have to be competent of that. Sarah Walsh says, my friend has a bunch of business connections and is a waitress. That's fantastic. That might work. That might be that very well might be a great connection. Robert D, get in that Facebook group. What am I missing? People harassing me about salespeople. The Candace says, I got lucky I caught this live on YouTube. The freedom is the drive. Yeah, but not in sales. I mean, something else has to motivate you, and a good sales, in my opinion, it's all opinion, a good sales staff setup as a business owner is um, that it doesn't matter what they're driven by. It does not matter. They are just required to go to X amount of businesses, to say X amount of things, to close X amount of sales. It doesn't matter. They are hired for the job and they will make a bunch of money if they just follow that system. It does not matter. That's why you can hire in a good setup. You can hire people with no experience, train them exactly how to do something, and they can make a success out of it because they're just following the system. They're not, maybe they feel lazy that day. It doesn't matter. You are demanding that they talk to 5 businesses. How many businesses did you talk to today? That's really the way to make sales work without having to hire degenerates. So you can make sales completely work and not have to hire degenerates. That sounds so bad saying that because there aren't that many degenerate salespeople around. Like superstar salespeople are hard to find. So ideally, you have a setup where the prospector or the lead generation gets all your stuff together, and the salesperson simply follows a structure and goes to X amount of businesses and talks to X amount. And they make money, you make money, and it doesn't take hiring some kind of sales superstar, which is very hard to find. Cash is king, Erica says. Give me my prize, Tie-Dye says. Darn. I gotta send this out. I feel so bad. I've been saying it for like weeks. Destin says, I was on a phone call last night with my mother and sharing the knowledge I know from my studies. Oh, that's amazing. That's all I want. I just want people to, become empowered. Small business, there's nothing for local, small, everyday businesses. There's like nothing for really good marketing advice. There's nothing. What are you going to do? Buy shiny object things of SEO product that's defunct in 2 months? Like there's nothing. And no one talks about like direct marketing and postcards, which is just these really valuable, reliable ways to get business for any local small. I just feel like all of us as small local business owners, we're just thrown under the rug. It's like having a kid. There's no blueprint. You have to learn so much of this on your own. I love it. What's funny is just so many businesses, it's all the same. It's like you could run another business in a totally different industry. It's all the same stuff. American Mailbox Matter says they need more time in a day. We all do. But remember, Richard Branson has the same exact amount of time as us, and he's got 300 companies or something. Saquon, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. You've been missed a bunch of them. Ed Jr. Online says, I want my piece, my 9x12 postcard, to have lots of great coupons that consumers will use so they start looking for me in the mailbox. All you need is a few. Don't get too crazy. All you need is a few, but yeah, something that's nice. That's why sometimes if you can't fill a lot of space, all your spaces, just start giving them away strategically to businesses that would have a really good appeal to the customer. What was Plum saying? I can't remember. I was thinking of, Silent Plum. Someone said that they're overthinking it. Says, I was thinking of putting food businesses on one side and service on the other side. Yeah, don't overthink that. Just throw them all together. That's why I call making them sticky. You want them things sticking around. Mac D says, weirdly enough, I met a guy this past weekend who was a powerhouse salesman, but he spent all his money on drugs. Yeah, I mean that's what you find with great salespeople. That is the environment you are going to find. I'm not knocking it. You're living your life. Whatever. I mean, this is why gangs, drug dealers, like that's why you get into it. Because why would you want to? The logic is, why would I want to go to more school and go work some crap job when I could go sell some drugs and make some money right now and have that cash and that lifestyle? Then you run into problems where you can't buy a house because you have all this cash and you can't build, those are other issues that take a more entrepreneurial mindset where you to figure out. But a drug dealer, same thing. It's a good salesperson. They're driven by the cash, by the lifestyle. They're driven by that lifestyle. More cash that day. I would venture, I'm not up to date on drug dealers' mentalities, but I think that most drug dealers are not users. They're not addicts. They don't get they'll be taking the methadone or whatever on themselves. They are addicted to the lifestyle, the cash, the hustle. That's what keeps them going. It's those, not many people have that drive. Same thing. Salvador says, I'm a junkie for the anxiety from not wanting to disappoint others. I deal with that. I deal with that all the time. I'll be like, going above and beyond because someone's got some kind of issue and I'm spending too much time on these little issues. But that's why I stick with small businesses. I don't go into products all day, making digital products all day because I don't like that. I like being in the trenches and dealing with all of us. What do they call it? The despisables or something? Us in the freaking slums, all of us. Saquon, give me super chat, $5 in this economy. Any extra? Oh my God, yeah. Just to be able to make your own money, your own cash is incredible. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. Or be your own boss. For some people, they don't want that. It's scary. It's terrifying. To not know where your next paycheck is coming or know that you have vendors and bills due and stuff and obligations and you don't have a steady paycheck. Like, I totally get that. For me, I like being the employer. I like the risk. I like the risk and the reward, and I like giving people jobs. I like giving people stability. It's a good balance. But things like this hustle, these side hustles, selling print and stuff is a great way to just make some extra money. I think we can all do that. Everyone is capable of that. What did someone said something? Is it time to shut this stream off yet? A little bit. 5 more minutes. Ed Junior Online says about the non-competes. They're very rarely held up by courts. You're not. What are you gonna do? Non-competes. Sarah Walsh says, not so much that we're degenerates. Some of us are just poor. We're born into and know how to hustle. Sure. I mean, I'm not saying every salesperson is a degenerate. It's funny. It's funny. I mean, all of us, I guess, are probably degenerates in some fashion. Some people can hustle, some people can't, Some people just can't. Some people can, some people can't. It's like a waitress, right? Some people are terrible waitresses. Some people are great waitresses. Earl Carvin says, as a contractor, you don't pay workers on Monday. They don't show up on Tuesday. Only pay on Fridays. After the work's done, right? It's a different crowd. Very similar. Sales and workers that contractors use, very similar. The workers on a contracting site are typically not good salespeople. They just need cash. They need cash that day. Some of them have prison. They're felons. You get out of prison. It doesn't matter if you're out of prison. What do? You can't. Some people do not fit in the mold of a regular job. They just don't, or they may have challenges getting into a regular job. So manual labor is a way they can make cash that day. They may have issues that deplete their funds every day. They may be alcoholics. They may be whatever. They spend their money every single day. It doesn't matter. It's not my job to judge someone, but they need money every day. Just sometimes those people are not great salespeople. So salespeople tend to be better sales. It's the same issues. They need cash that day. They need as much cash as they can make. They need to control their cash, extra cash. They need the freedom, whatever. But they just happen to be better at talking versus nailing stuff into the wall. Michael Elliott says, I love this content. I don't care if there's a certain topic, just this hangout chat format. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Michael. It means a lot. Because I do get harassed by a lot of people that say, oh, it has to be a giant workshop with slides and stuff, and you cannot go off tangent one bit. But we have a lot of fun on here. There's still 100-something people on here watching. 100 of us, 129. But only 88 hit the like button, so there's some people... Bunch of jerks. Juan Quintero, how do we sign up for the elite group? Yeah, send me that email. You got to pay the piper. That's how you do it. You got to pay the piper. I like when people email. They go, I just paid the piper, Jake. I just paid the piper. And I get in. George says people are worried about Elon or Donald Trump getting their social security number, yet they will beg a heroin addict, car salesman to take a credit report. I was at the bank the other day, and I'm waiting in the line, and the banker or whatever, and you know how they have like the tables around there if you have to talk about your accounts, and the guy's like, "What's your social?" The guy's just ripping off his social. Like, should you be not? I don't think I'm supposed to be in earshot of this. They don't care. Freaking socials all thrown around everywhere, buying and selling our data. Courtroom Crafter says, what are some of the best offers or deals you've seen on cards? Free stuff. You know, free is always the best, where it's something free. Sometimes if it's too good, it can seem off suspicious. So that's another thing. But free, you know, free stuff, free car inspection, really cheap brake jobs, buy one, get one free pizza, stuff like that is outstanding. Buy one, get one free is you can almost never go wrong. What else? Kim says I had a best friend that was a really good salesperson. Makes sense to me. Yeah, they're a different breed. Different breed. Just like most people would say you're crazy being an entrepreneur. You know, it's a different breed. Cabana says, I know a guy makes 60,000 vanishes on the weekend on cocaine and hookers. He's homeless and we'll do it over again. Yeah. These are the people. They're incredible. They're incredible salespeople because their drive is so high. I mean, imagine I've never been addicted to anything like that. But if you are so addicted to something that you cannot function if you don't have that thing that day, it is amazing what you will do to get that thing. Look at it, just a junkie on the streets. Like, this is a terrible word to use, junkie, but a drug addicted person. I don't know how much they spend. Hundreds a day, 1,000. You always hear about these like heroin addicts, and they spend $1,000 a day, and they're homeless. How are they getting $1,000 a day? They figure it out. And you would think, if these people just applied their, this hustle to a normal job, but it doesn't work that way. Because once they get clean and the drive is gone, it's gone. They don't have the drive anymore. Amazing what people do with that much drive. When you cannot function unless you make some money that day, that's a whole other beast. You can accomplish incredible things. Insane drive. You watch like Happy. What's that movie with Will Smith? Happy. What was it? Happy. Some Pursuit of Happiness, and he figures out. This is so true too. He's in a stock. He hustles his way to getting this job as a stockbroker. And in the training, there's 50 other guys in the room, and they have to make through these calls. And the one who makes the most calls or the most deals gets the job. Only like one person gets the job, and he says, "I realized that." And he's has to like run out and get coffee for like the boss, so he's losing time, and he's trying to beat all these other guys, but he's got to get through the list, and he realizes that everyone else puts the phone down to dial the next call, and he realizes if he keeps the phone at his ear and dials, he can come up with 4 or 5 more numbers every half hour faster than they can. It's little stuff like that. So true. It's so true. There's just something in those of us that have that built, that we figure those things out, we hustle harder, we find more efficient ways to do things. It's incredible. Now, if you're a good boss, if you're a good business owner and you're building a sales staff, those are the kind of systems that you have to put in place so that anyone can follow them. McDonald's is a great example. Every single thing is 100% efficient. If you look at how McDonald's would operate versus a mom and pop burger joint, the systems are totally different. McDonald's, you use exactly that system. Everything is placed in a specific way. The order of everything is exactly like down to the micrometer, so that everything functions perfectly as expected. And you can hire people off the street and they can perform the same exact result. In sales, it is actually really similar. You will have outliers and these crazy salespeople, which come with their own baggage, they come with their own drama, but you will be able, in a good sales setup, you will be able to bring anyone on and they just perform. They just do what you have them doing, you know, down to calling and lead generators. Don't drop the phone, you know, pick up the phone, use this software that dials more. No, you're not going to dial this slow. You should be able to make 70 calls. And you can look back and say, oh, you only made 30 calls. Why are you only making 30 calls? You're not making 70. At 2%, Jake. Oh, his phone's about to go off. Yeah. That's just about it. Someone just walk in here. Oh, someone dropping off stuff. Conrad says, what a conversation. People harass me because I call the sales people a degenerate. And that's my man, Dorn and Lucy. He's allowed to. Courtroom Crafter says the vast majority, we got it was like 2 minutes, I'm done. Vast majority of people don't know how to make money unless someone else hands it over to them in the form of paycheck. Yeah, it's a whole other, it is a level of freedom that comes with a lot of risk. And I'm sure all of us have had, you know, complete, very rock bottoms and roller coaster type stuff that comes with it. But it is definitely worth it. Salvador says the only time I felt is a degenerate, because you're not a degenerate. I'm just saying degenerates tend to be really great salespeople. That's all I'm saying. When you get astounding salespeople, they are often have a degenerate. Astounding. I'm talking about outliers. Astounding salespeople tend to be a degenerate type person. Hit that like button, Erica said. That's right. Joshua Polche did. Wants more wheel spins. Okay, we do. Okay, let's just do a couple wheel spins here. Little more. And then we're done. Oops, right here. I have to reset it. William Council says, I worked with a crackhead before Cadillac pulled it 12 like clockwork. Dude is a superhero till 6. Yeah. Oh. They're funny. Usually the funniest people you want to be around. The Couponing Tribe won. Nice job, which I think she is still live on here. What'd you win? Will says he left the... you won the 50 ad pack. Nice. Just hit up Zoe at printingforsupercheap.com. Will Bradwell says, been sober 9 years now. Filled the booze left behind with hustle and grind. Nice. I guess sometimes probably if you have like maybe an addictive personality, getting... let me try to go this way. Filling that with another, you could become addicted to sales or addicted to creating things or addicted to something else. It fills that hole. I guess that would totally makes sense. How does postage work for targeting new movers? Hit me up on that. It's a little more. You can do it either. You can put stamps on it, or you can have us do it. Doesn't matter. One more. George Preppa says hit that like button. One more. That's it. I saw your comment, Robert Sales. I see it. It's the only way my wife can get in the mood. Oh, that's too funny. Who won here? Infinite Limit. Is that Quantum Hustles? cousin. And that's it. Then that's it. What'd you win, Infinite Limit? You won the Secrets to High Response Postcards, an excellent guide. All right, that's it, guys. I am calling it a day. I had a great time with you guys, as always. I think you can see me on here. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you next week. Thank you all for sticking around. Appreciate it a ton. Okay, all done. All done. Done. See you next week.